Hello, and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair, New Jersey's local yarn store. I'm Kathleen.
Amanda.
Haley.
And you'll notice that Jen is not with us today. She is on her way back to the Cape for another kind of end of summer vacation. And we're hoping that she'll give us a little bit of a blurb, give Amanda a blurb to stick in later about her progress and what she's up to up there. So, we usually kick off by, we try to kick off by guessing what episode it is. Does anyone want to guess? I didn't do my tab thing. Imagine that.
I didn't see.
Amanda knows, though, because she edits, too. You probably remember the last one was 133.
Well, yeah, I have to, change the number on the cover.
Yep.
I don't know, some of our more perceptive viewers might remember some times where I forgot to change the number on the cover photo.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I go back and look at it once it hits my my subscriptions, right? In YouTube, when you subscribe, it, shows up in your subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to find that way.
Yeah.
And I look at it, I'm like, that's not the right number!
That's not the right number!
So then I have to go back and change the cover photo. But now they're all right, unless I messed up this one. Yay!
And so, sometimes I've caught it, when Amanda sends me the cover so I can do our Instagram post and everything. It's like, wait a minute, what about this? So anyway, it is August. And by the time this comes out, it's really close to the end of August.
Yeah. My birthday was last week.
That's right. Right. And you did something fun for your birthday, didn't you?
Yes, but not fun. Well, it was fun for me. It was a trip. It wasn't a vacation.
Right.
If you don't know that reference, link down below. It's totally worth your time. One of my favorite blog posts ever on the internet.
Uh-huh.
It's a trip, not a vacation.
Yeah. Vacation implies relaxation for everyone involved, right?
Yes.
Definitely to me, yeah.
Yeah, no potty seats in the trunk in case you have an emergency on the highway. If you have that, it's a trip. It's not a vacation. But yeah, we all went to Sesame Place for the day in Pennsylvania. So it's a little themed park for kids. It has a Sesame Street theme, and they've got a parade and lots of rides.
It's
and
cute.
A water park.
I remember going there.
It's so cute.
When Haley was little. Yeah.
Yeah, and
we did a couple of times.
Catherine and Javelle and Evie came with us.
So fun.
Teddy and Charlie are the perfect age.
Yes.
Charlie is 6 and Teddy is 3, and they were just amazed that I saw the real Elmo.
Yep.
Because
Elmo in the wild.
Yes. Well, obviously the one that's in the parade isn't the real Elmo because he's too big, right? And when we know Elmo is 3 years old, so he's way too big to be 3 years old. It was the real Big Bird, obviously, in the parade. But not the real Elmo. But later they had a show on the street. And Elmo was in his house, coming out of the window, and that was the real Elmo.
Wow.
And the real Abby Cadabby. So it was really
I do love Elmo.
great.
Of all the characters, Elmo is my favorite.
Yeah?
So, yeah. Haley had, 20 Elmo books or something when you were little. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And
all the CDs.
I'm a Grover
DVDs.
girl. Love
Super Grover!
Super Grover.
Oh, yes, and you've got something to show for that later, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like Grover personifies my standard of excellence. Almost anything. I show up. Right? He shows up. That's his superpower. Okay?
That is helpful. That's a good thing.
Gotta start there.
It might not be the amazing magical savior you need, but hey, he's there. We're gonna do our best together.
That's right.
We can only do our best.
That's been the catchphrase a lot lately for us too.
Yeah.
Doing your best. Right?
Doing my best.
So we did that. Let's see. What's going on around town for you guys?
We are still in the midst of our kitchen renovation, which I think was just starting last time we chatted.
Moving along nicely.
It really is moving along nicely. It's amazing. I made what I thought was a short list this morning of things left to do, and then as I talked with Jean, it doubled in size because there are always a lot of little details, but hopefully
it's things for them to do, right? Not for you to do.
Oh yeah. I think all of my stuff is done at this point. Maybe approving the paint color for the existing cabinetry that's being repainted, which is not a lot.
Nice.
and I did make one more change about an area to be tiled that I was not envisioning being tiled originally, but sometimes when you look at things as they're going along, it's like, yep, that's going to look funny if we leave it that way. So, you know. So that has taken up a lot of time, and also we're doing trip planning. We do now have flights to and from the UK.
Good start.
Yeah, entirely. We were only going.
Yeah, for almost a week actually. We had tickets there and no tickets back. But
oh my goodness, have you checked your passports?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that was one reason I couldn't book the flights because my passport. I renewed my passport and it took about a month to come back.
Yeah.
And you need your passport number to book the flights.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
But we were driving to Canada, and
oh no, who forgot their passport?
No, Chad had his passport,
but it was expired.
It expired 2 days after we came back.
Ooh. Oh, a lot of places won't let you in when it's
Canada lets you in. Thank you, Canada.
Thank goodness.
We appreciate that.
Wow.
But we were literally having and I didn't realize it until we were on the highway.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm getting my passport out, and he was driving. I'm like, mine, and his. I'm like,
you realize?
Do you know when your passport expired? Wait, when are we coming home?
Oh boy.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you could have just told them you were just going for the day or something, right? If,
and we did have our global entry cards.
Yeah.
Which
actually for there you can. I think you can.
They
use
used to. They don't anymore.
No.
Yeah, I doubt that they would.
Well, they used to, but I think it was during a prior administration.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of
oh yeah, there was definitely some back and forth at the beginning of the pandemic.
And so now global entry doesn't work anymore.
Or not in lieu of a passport.
Not in lieu of a passport, yes, to go
Mm-hmm.
across. But anyway, we also discovered that at the border. But
lots of lessons.
Yes. So then, as soon as we got home the next day, Chad had an appointment. He booked the appointment at the post office to go renew his passport on the day that it expired.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So, good job, babe. Well done.
Right on time.
Exactly.
So what else is happening? Anything coming up?
Well, I mean, one thing that I think is pretty cool. So this podcast comes out on Saturday the
24th. My sister Jeannie's birthday.
Ah, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Jeannie!
24 Club.
Yeah,
that's right. We have a lot of 24s. Haley, Irene, Jeannie are all the 24th of various months.
I have a lot of 16s.
That was 2 days off.
Yeah. Eric, Beth, and I are 16s. June, July, and August. So,
wow. Yeah.
But starting on Monday, August 26th, Governor Murphy declared a fair holiday for all of New Jersey Transit.
Did you know that?
So you can board any train, any bus, any light rail in New Jersey and go. They don't check your tickets. You can go for free anywhere.
That's my dream.
Anywhere.
Actually.
So you can take the 28 bus to Penn Station, get on the train, go to Manasquan, go to the beach
go anywhere.
for free.
We could go anywhere.
I know.
Wow.
So that doesn't include air train to go to Newark International Airport. It doesn't include the PATH, which is...
It's a separate system.
Yeah, it's the Port Authority. It's not New Jersey Transit.
Yeah.
But you can, if you're in New York City, go to Penn Station. You can get on the train for free.
You can go anywhere in New Jersey.
And go anywhere in New Jersey.
You could come to Yarnia.
You can come to Yarnia, for free. Yeah, it's going to be that's a great week. So plan what you want to do with
I just wonder
mini New Jersey vacation.
How crowded it's going to be. I wonder if a lot of people will take advantage of it, or I'm just curious. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, well,
I think I'm working every day that week, so I don't know that I'll get to take advantage of it.
I have a conference in New York City Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is nice. I have to go into the city those days. I don't have to pay a fare. Abby has an eye appointment on Thursday. I also have to be in the city on Thursday. But maybe Friday we'll do something. And I think it goes through the weekend, too.
I think
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be in New Hampshire. I'm getting a new state. Since the last time I was here, I also got a new state. I got Wisconsin.
That's right.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
You did your Midwest Princess tour.
We Midwest Princessed a little bit. Went to the Wisconsin State Fair.
Oh,
Isn't
my
that so
goodness.
fun?
I didn't know you went to the fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
We did
stuff every
the
day.
tourist route, the circuit.
No, I'm really...
Lake Michigan.
When Beth was in Iowa, I always wanted to go to the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah.
But The first one was the 2020, which was very political.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not going to this state fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
like a couple
or I guess it
months
was, no, it was 2019.
2019.
And that one was like super political because the Iowa caucuses were January 2020.
Mm.
So like,
Not fun.
it was one of those very political Iowa state fairs, and that was just, I mean,
Not
if
the
you're
vibe
in
you were looking
Iowa
for.
and interested in hearing all the different candidates, that would be great. But if you're going as a tourist for like state fair
Yeah,
vibes,
if you want-
it's a
Yeah.
little intense.
If you want fried food and frozen lemonade.
Right.
And pigs and cows.
And then after that, it was like pandemicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I sort of missed all that. But maybe I'll get out there another time. Sorry, I interrupted. Why are you going to New Hampshire?
Well, so my friend, one of my school friends lives there. And we have like 3 friends who live there, but one is going to be at school and one is going to be in Ireland.
Oh.
So Leah's the only one left in New
the
Hampshire.
States.
So we're doing
Just
a
doing a little-
Eve road trip up just on Labor Day weekend.
Oh,
to
nice.
do a visit. And
That'll be fun.
That'll be good.
2 new states this summer.
Yay.
Are you
I'm
going
up
to a
like
lake
32.
up there?
Yeah, we're gonna swim. I don't know which one, but I'm sure there will be swimming
Nice.
involved.
Yay.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's even more north than.
Yeah.
And speaking of cold, it was 60 degrees when I got up
Yes.
this morning. I was so
It's
happy,
very
which is where we are
August fall.
wearing long sleeve sweaters today.
Yeah.
So excited to be able to break out a long sleeve sweater.
It's good. Yeah, and
Summer to go.
so in terms, that's what's going on around New Jersey, all around New Jersey. And then here in the store, we have some, well, first we have Labor Day hours coming
We
up.
do actually. We are closed. We are open Friday and Saturday of Labor Day weekend, and closed the Sunday and Monday of Labor Day weekend.
Yes. So if you want to use that fair holiday, do it Friday or Saturday,
Yeah.
not Sunday.
And Saturday will only get you to Bay Street. So if you
Yeah.
really want to come straight here, come on
Yes.
Friday.
Come on, Friday.
But yeah, we'll be open. It is so nice. We definitely have seen an uptick in people who stop by when they're in the area, like if they're visiting someone in the New York area. We love that. It's so fun. If you know you're coming, shoot us an email or something and let us know, because one of us will try to be here if
Yeah.
at all possible. I'm not usually here on the weekends. Amanda is here, like one weekend a month at this point, probably.
I have no more vacation plans.
So, but yeah, we both live close by. So if
Yeah.
even if we're in the area, we'll be happy to come in and say hi. It's always fun to meet viewers. And
And we have a truck show then after that.
we do. The following Saturday, September 7th, is Hopemade Yarns and Simply Vintage.
I
So
can't wait.
Pine Barren Knits.
Those
You
are
probably
so
know
fun.
Hope and Keisha from Pine Barren Knits. And we are really looking forward to having them here in the store. They did stop by once on their way to another trunk show, and it was really nice to meet them in person. And we're just excited to be hosting them. It's going to be a great day. And that'll be from 12 to 5 on the 7th.
On the 7th.
I know that because we have a class that morning.
Oh,
So
right,
we-
yes. I saw the back and forth.
Yeah, we need to resolve a few more little things, but we are really looking forward to that. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So you'll hear more about that. If you want to maybe see some sneak peeks of what their yarn looks like, I'm going to put their Instagram down below so you can
Good idea.
take a look.
Yeah.
But B, sign up for the newsletter so you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Get all the reminders about that. Let's see. I'm running the show today. I'm like our traffic cop.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't have anything to knit on or crochet because I'm in such inconvenient
Mm-hmm.
spots in all my projects.
Yeah,
So,
and excuse me, I am doing color work, so I am having to look down a
her
lot.
mind is.
I mean,
her
I'm-
mind is like occupied, and mine is not.
I know, but I definitely, I am not one of those people who likes to knit without looking, because whenever I do that, I wind up dropping stitches or whatever. Maybe that's one reason I don't go to the movies. Like, I watch movies at home because I can have a light over my shoulder and not be annoying people.
Oh yeah.
Because I do tend to look down fairly frequently. And when I'm doing color work, I absolutely do.
Yeah.
So.
I don't watch horror movies at all. But if you're talking about like intenser,
Uh-huh.
the psychological thrillers,
Uh-huh.
at home with the lights on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With nothing behind my back.
Yeah.
No potential creeping up on back.
No.
No. Eliminate that.
And
Very
then you have to
important.
like go to HBO and watch a comedy special
Yeah,
afterwards.
You have to watch like something fluffy.
Yeah. Definitely get that lighthearted vibe going again.
Definitely.
So, do we want to talk about some finished objects?
Sure. I only have what I'm wearing.
All right.
Yeah, I only have what I'm wearing.
It's so cute.
I love that.
The theme of this week is Rybeck sweaters. Because that's, now we have
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, to the day. Pretty much.
Yeah, so we've got 2 months to Rybeck. And that means you actually you can count weeks, you can budget time, you can actually say, okay, I have a realistic amount of time to finish a sweater for Rybeck.
Exactly.
As opposed to a month from now having a panicked amount of time to finish a sweater.
Or when it's, my problem is when there's months and months out, it's there's so much time.
Yeah.
You feel like you have enough time, but no.
Yeah.
Because then you don't pick it up and then it doesn't get done. Anyone relate? I don't know.
Well, yeah. I'm pretty good at starting sweaters early in the year. Yeah, thank goodness.
And I'm really not with that. It's I need to feel all right, this is the thing I want to do. And usually it's around now when I really actually decide that. I mean, this year I guess I decided a little bit earlier, but we'll talk about that later.
But yeah, so what I'm wearing today is my Rybeck sweater from last year. Yay!
So
I'm wearing Autumn Court by Dragon Hoard Designs, who is the dyer of Dragon Hoard Fibers. She was
Tristan.
Tristan. Hi, Tristan. She was at Woolen Folk last year where we met, and I'll put a picture in here. I wore this sweater, and yeah, I love her designs. I love her yarns. I have so much in my stash. Some real OG Dragon Hoard fibers, as well as Yarn Cafe Creations from yeah. I have some probably 2017, 2018 vintage of their yarns. And then Alaska, her sister, I got a skein of her yarn last year, made Abby a hat.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but yeah, this is not their yarn. This is Allegria, which is a fingering weight superwash yarn, and it has such bold colors.
Yeah.
And I really liked, I really liked this palette. This was actually the branding palette for a company that I used to work with. And they changed their branding colors. They changed the name. I'm not working there anymore.
But you still love this one, right?
The palette.
Yeah, it's fun.
Really good. Our head of marketing at the time had a really good color sense and eye and all that kind of thing. She was very good at the artistic side of marketing, and design. You know what I mean? So yes, she put this palette together. I was like,
I will be taking it.
I'm gonna just totally lift this and make it colorwork.
make it out of yarn.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So this is last year's, which was actually a 3-year project because I knit the yoke. First I had the yarn, and you remember the yarn was sitting in the office for a year and a half.
Well, because we needed one more, you needed a little bit more of the green, right?
Yeah.
And then they discontinued it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I knit the yoke, and then it sat there for 9 months. If you guys have knit colorwork yokes, I'm sure you can, appreciate.
Yeah.
You're done with the yoke, and it's I'm done with the fun part.
I'm done. I mean, time to do something else.
Yeah,
so that's what you need to get someone who will just knit the body for you.
Yeah. Seriously. I just picked this up last year, though, and was okay, it's going to be a Rybeck sweater. And then with a deadline, it's a little bit easier.
Well, and the idea of starting a Rybeck sweater that was the hard part was done was very appealing, right?
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah. I am untangling here.
This was last year's Rybeck sweater, and I've got 3 more to talk about when we get to whips. So.
Woohoo! All right. All right.
I also have my Rybeck wear with
us. My goodness.
That's right.
And so do you. Do you have anything finished though?
I do have some finished objects, yep. So, sure, do you want to hand me the pillow?
First, you're wearing one.
First, I'm wearing one. This is Love Note. By Tin Can Knits.
DK, right? In a DK?
This is Tosh DK.
Oh, nice.
In Jupiter's Moon Callisto, I think, which I don't know if they dye anymore.
I don't know. It's a pretty color.
It's fun, isn't it? Yeah, it was I just wanted something that would work with jeans. I like the little pops of yellow. I don't usually do yellow. This is really a yellow.
I'm going to take a picture of this So I can pop it in,
Cool.
and you can see like how nice that color is in the speckles.
does look
I
like
love
a
Tosh
moon.
speckles.
Yeah, they do a great job with speckles. And I made this, I don't know how many years ago. I mean, this was probably maybe year 2 of the store, so say 5 years ago. And, Love Note, it's such a classic. It's like a good thing to pull out on a nice chilly morning like this.
Yeah.
Fall, August.
Well, and it's originally, like, it calls for a fingering weight plus a fluffy yarn.
Yeah, but I can't do most fluffy yarns. So you can sub a DK. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives it, like, a different look. It looks like a...
It does, yeah. I've thought about making this again. And actually, now that we have a fluffy that I can use, maybe I'll do it that way. Maybe I'll do Cash Silk Light. That would be really fun, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, see, all we need to do is chat for a few minutes, and things are going in the queue.
Yeah.
Things are going in the queue. This guy we'll talk about later, because clearly he is still a work in progress. But could you hand me the pillow, sweetie? Yay! So
Oh my goodness!
I
yes,
talked about this a little bit last time.
I saw it right before the podcast,
Sure,
and I
thank you.
completely forgot about it. But right now.
So I participated in the Dreamweaver Pillow Challenge, which was something hosted by Knit Collage. If you have a chance to do anything like that with Knit Collage, I can't say enough good things about what a great event organizer Amy Small is.
Yeah.
She and her team are so good at planning things, about executing them, far enough in advance that everyone has everything that they need. And just the community that they build through their different knit-alongs and challenges, which this was considered a challenge. So I think part of the fun about this was that there was a community, and I don't know, maybe it was 100 people, maybe it was 150. It's hard to say. I only got to participate in one of the Zooms because you're working in the store, and then I got a really bad cold last week, so it was like any extra energy that I had for anything was just devoted to getting a little bit of extra sleep so that I could function. And but I did participate in one Zoom, and then I watched one of them later. But there's also a Facebook group that they set up, and people were chatting and showing each other what yarn they picked, and then as they made progress, and everyone was cheering each other on, just so supportive, nice. And so
and was the
helpful.
Like the amount to work in each stage of the challenge, was that like
it was
manageable?
Totally reasonable. Yeah, I mean, I think they had this was an existing pattern. The Dreamweaver pillow was an existing pattern.
Yeah, they often do that. Like knit-alongs or their challenges are patterns that they've already had before, but just
and so they actually had a whole video series on how to do each part of it. So when you're, and this technique is called entrelac. When you're doing entrelac, there was one video just about what's called the beginning triangles. So basically your first section. And then the next video is about how you pick up and do your first set of rectangles. And then the next video is about doing the other the other rectangles, because they actually are different, because you're picking up on one set you're picking up on the right side, the other set you're picking up on the wrong side. I forget which was which.
That makes sense.
But by the time you've done these 3 rows, you have all the skills you need to do everything until the very last row, which is then different again, but not so different, And again, there was a video ready for you to watch once you were ready to do that. And then the back of the pillow is all garter, and so that's pretty straightforward. There was one video for sure, and possibly 2 videos talking about that, and just playing with yarn color placement. Some people did it really random. I did the first 12 rows random, and then I repeated.
As random as you can get with this one.
That's so true. I have such a hard time with random. I really do.
You're just a planner.
It's
not a fault.
No. It's just it's a feature.
It's a trait.
It's a feature. It's not a bug. It's a feature.
It's a feature. I know it does kind of drive the people I'm with crazy sometimes how much, but my brain just defaults to planning mode. It really does.
Mine does.
Even doing errands, it's like I'll be like, all right, we'll go here, then we'll go here, then we'll go here, and Jean will be like,
route planning.
Yeah.
How to make it the most efficient route to
Always.
like 4 different things.
Always.
Absolutely.
Always. And it really drives Jean crazy. He's like, well, why don't we do this next? I said, because it's not efficient.
It's not the most efficient.
Because it's farther.
And actually, my dad used to say, I don't know, I think the motto for KLM, which is the Dutch airline, was something about efficiency. And so from a young age, my name is Dutch, Vandervoort, my heritage is partially Dutch. But like my father was very efficient too, and like all about the efficiency. But he was like, yeah. We'll have to look that up. What was the motto to do with efficiency? Yes, it does come from somewhere. If you want. So anyway, so then I did the back of the pillow, and at that point, I think maybe it was I had started working on the back when I got this really terrible cold and couldn't breathe, could hardly talk, all of that good stuff. And so I put it aside for a few days, and then just last night, or maybe 2 nights ago, I picked it up and I watched the edging videos.
Oh, is that
crocheted together?
Oh,
no, you actually do a single crochet. Yep,
okay.
And you just with locking stitch markers, I pinned the corners, I pinned the middle, I divided again, and you just kind of use that to kind of keep you on track. You do 3 sides, you slip in your pillow form, you do the last side, and you join, and you're done. And I will be doing tassels. There are optional tassels, but I think they're exceedingly cute. And I have enough yarn for it. I mean, this definitely is written kind of as a stash buster.
Yeah.
But the thing that some of the people on Facebook are saying that was so cute is like, what happens when you have more yarn from your stash buster? It's like, make another one. So
endless cycle.
Yes,
actually, yeah. Like this uses how much of each skein did this use? Because it was one of each.
So this was one of Love Cloud Spun Cloud, one of Fog Heather Spun Cloud, and 2 of Wildflower and Lotus Petal. But I have plenty. I probably, if I had used less of the Lotus Petal on the back, I could have gotten away with 1, I bet. So
I have
you
a lot of chunky scraps. I wonder if I could do one of these just with scraps.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure, and also people definitely there were people that did that who participated in the challenge where every row was a different color, and some of those were some of the cutest ones. They were really because you totally could make it to go with whatever room you wanted. You know, if you just picked your colors to match your decor. Mine
would not match my decor. Mine was scrappy because I've got. You remember the rainbow sweater I made? With all the yarn from like...
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember the rainbow sweater.
The cotton candy neon.
The cotton candy neon.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I do.
I have...
Oh, that's perfect.
I have a lot.
That would be so cute. But also, something like that, if you use natural, we are getting a Rasta order in, like, any minute, actually. It is supposed to come today. And we're getting more natural. If you did natural sparkles and sprinkled in with all those colors, that would be so cute.
Yeah, I do have.
Really
I have some.
Actually,
I have this. I have a vanilla.
Yeah, or if you have vanilla spun cloud, that's perfect too.
Vanilla spun cloud, leftover from.
I do love spun cloud. The thick and thin aspect. It just adds another dimension.
Texture.
No, yes. I love that. I love it. I love it.
So that is a big finished object that is going to be a store sample. It's going to live here for a long time.
I know why I have leftovers. Oh my goodness. And now I'm really ready for because my dress that I made last year, that's why I have leftovers.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, your Nicolas dress. Your the Selena slipover. Yeah.
I love my
Could you put that back somewhere there? And then in the black and white, the black flowered bag has another finished object.
Oh, yeah.
So last time I was working on this little bonnet.
That's cute.
Isn't that so cute?
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't that so fun?
So
I do have notes. They're in here about what I did. I have to actually type them up. But it's close enough to being done to be a pattern. Would you like to bring it up, Haley?
I can take it.
Or, okay. This, and the seam is the back. That is the back of the head.
So cute.
Look at that.
So this is the Ikigai Fibers Tama yarn. And I believe rose was the color I used. It was. And I combined it with Sugar Bush Bold in Fresh Snow, which we still have a couple hundred balls of.
Next time Evie's in town, I'll make her be a model for
Yes, that would be great. Do you think that would fit her? I think it probably would, right?
Yeah.
Good. So this is like a 6 to 12 month size probably.
Yep.
I would say. And then also from Ikigai, and I meant to grab some of these. We have these adorable little wool pom-poms.
Yeah.
So we have cards of 5, and the set that I picked happened to have 2 matching ones, so I used those for the ends of the ties, and then I just grouped the other 3 and I put them on the point, and I think it looks so fun.
That's super cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get like a teddy bear or something to keep in the store to have wearing it as a sample. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So that is my other finished
I have plenty
object.
of baby dolls if you want.
Yeah.
A Cabbage Patch Kid.
Care Bear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Care Bear. Oh my gosh. Do I have anything else in finished objects? I forget. I think that's it between the sweater and these two. Yeah, because the other thing is also whip. All right. And Haley, you have a finished object.
I do.
which you all saw last time in some pictures, but now you've got the
live and in person.
The item in person, exactly. So, your butterfly top.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't gotten to block it since it was worn, so it's still the right shape.
So cute.
Oh my goodness. That is so cute.
And you really just made it to fit yourself, right? You felt, do you remember the name of the pattern?
Yeah, we'll put
Give them into the details.
But, no, yeah, I followed the pattern exactly. I just added, I think I followed it exactly, and it was the right measurement. Like, I did the sizing, because it's by, like, centimeters, not by, like, letter size. And one of the wing I did, like, the upper wing I did first or second, one of them turned out a lot bigger than the other one. Probably the second one that was done, because, like,
usually the second one is bigger.
You know the pattern, and you don't refer to it as much, you're looser. Yeah. So I had to go back and just add a couple rows on the smaller one.
That was what I remembered, that you tweaked it a bit. But,
yeah. Worn at Lala.
Is this La Bien Aimée?
Yes, it's Calcifer.
Calcifer? I was like, I know that color.
And I added some beads, which these beads have been in my stash. They'll get used at some point. Since quite literally since middle school, I wore this necklace at a bat mitzvah, and then I took it apart because I harvested the beads, and they finally got used. Yay. So that just feeds my delulu of they'll get used at some point. And I have actually. Yes. So, and this is like all the straps are really long, like the ties.
I like how you braided them. I think that's so smart to keep them. It's a wee
little chain, a little finger crochet going. That's how I did that.
Oh, wow. But that'll be good for washing it too, like just keeping it so that they're not so long and kind of getting tangled with each other.
Yeah. What I wanted to do, I took off So I wanted to beat it even more, but this is going to be my Rybeck wear.
That's right, isn't it?
I'll wear it with a layer.
Well, like a long sleeve t-shirt or something.
Depending on what the temperature ends up being, I'll bring some options, but like I'll wear that like over a shirt probably.
Yeah.
Unless it's 90 degrees and I just wear that. And
which is 63 in August. Today, so who knows what's going to be at Rybeck.
Randomly, Rybeck so often is uncomfortably warm, so she'll be the one who's really ready.
To be.
Yeah, that's what we were saying on the way over here today. It's
look at this
right?
It's a bluey case.
That was made by Stephanie Martinez, who makes our Mystic Martinez bags. Isn't that fun? Yeah,
we're all big Bluey fans.
Do we have more Bluey?
We don't. Yeah, that was limited edition.
Catherine was obsessed with Bluey.
And so
we're a Blue's Clues house. So
true.
She
was branching out there, huh?
Yeah, she was a Blue's Clues kid, but totally abandoned.
All those kids shows change so fast, though. It's like every 10 years or so, there's like a new thing. Oh well, Haley and I were at my mom's this past weekend, and we were joking that Jean and Anna were having a SpongeBob weekend.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
Just like SpongeBob and Gary.
Okay, so these guys are little charms that I made.
Those are.
I love them. Yeah.
These.
Yes. And I was thinking on the way over, I was like, I could make a tutorial for how I made these because it took a lot of they didn't make it on the actual piece because I took so long of so much time of brainstorming how to actually do what I would like how to connect them because I was like, am I gonna do it as I go? But basically it's just embroidery floss and I do have some beading crochet hooks that are small enough to go through the holes that I got in an estate sale. And so I just pre-threaded the seed beads, but then the bigger beads at the bottom, like the charm beads, I fed through and then tied it at the bottom and then wove the little tail through and made a little loop that it's like a slip knot that I do 2 or 3 like not French knots, like friendship bracelet knots
Uh-huh.
around it so that it can no longer slip once I have made it the size I want, so that I can just crochet like the charm on through the loop.
Uh-huh.
So I haven't put them on yet, but I'm planning to for
That's so cool.
For Rybeck.
so
Yeah.
that it's all
They're
the
so
movement and
pretty. Yeah.
Yes.
the like satisfying.
Oh my
crunchy-
goodness.
Yeah, that's gonna be so fun. Are you gonna do it like along the top edge?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where you're gonna see it the most.
That's so cool.
So certainly start with that, and then so fun, very fun.
Pictures to come, but I'm also planning on making more charms like this for my birthday outfit. So
That's right, because it's your golden year.
24 on 24. So
No.
I'm planning to make an outfit. We'll see.
Oh, that's right.
The
And-
plan is there.
Speaking of golden years, actually, you did a little bit of video when we were at Deer Lake. We had our team outing to Deer Lake.
Yes, yes, we did.
Yeah, that was so fun. But somehow at the end of that, it was the whole discussion about golden years came up or something. I don't know if you were talking about your But one thing I did, and I'll send you the pictures. I took a picture of everyone who was still there with their project that they were working on that day.
Oh, nice.
So we can just put in those little the project names and things if we would
good.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably pop that in here.
Cool. All right. So I think that is it for finished objects. And I love actually that yours really is a finished object because it has been worn.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of a whip because you're adding more
I'm
for
adding
Rybeck.
It's in stage.
That's our transition
Yeah.
project.
So would you like to kick off whips, Amanda?
Sure,
With
I'll
more-
talk about the rest of my Rybeck projects. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think we talked about travel knitting, crocheting, making, right?
Mhm.
And my travel thing is I always take projects, like a limited number of projects that I really need to work on. So like I actually get things done.
Mhm.
So this time I took enough yarn to finish the front of Chad's sweater because I had finished like maybe 2 pattern repeats of the cables of the front of his sweater,
Mhm.
and I needed to make progress on that. So you saw last week like I had finished I think 4 or 5, like I'd made a good chunk of weight on the body. So then the second thing I took was the very beginning. I cast on and did 1 round. So with my first Rybeck sweater, you cast on 1 needle, which is the ribbing needle, and then you immediately go to the body needle size because the ribbing is picked up later. So I started that trip with 2 rounds of knitting on my Rybeck sweater, and then I had also started a sweater for Evie.
Right.
And those were the 3 projects, and the only 3 projects I took on this trip.
You give yourself no other choice.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so we drove up to Quebec City. We spent 6 nights in Quebec City.
It's really pretty.
Then drove to New Hampshire, 2 nights in New Hampshire because Eric got out of camp on Saturday morning and Abby got out of camp on Monday morning.
Oh wow.
So we had to be there by Friday night and
Mhm.
then picked her up on Monday.
Mhm.
And then drove home. By the time we got to Hartford on the way home, I couldn't knit anything else. I was done.
Wow, that is
So-
amazing. So good though.
Mission
frustrating.
completed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was
I know,
like,
but you had a couple more
Yeah.
hours there that you could have been
2.5
knitting.
more hours. I could-
Yeah. Oh well.
But
I
first, let
went
me show you
to
Chad's sweater because I'm
Yeah.
so happy with it. So yeah, I feel like this is the
Wow.
that's the back,
Mhm.
Ooh, that's
I love it. Isn't it so pretty?
and this is the front.
Yay!
Yeah, so I finished
Excellent.
the whole front of his sweater, and that
Wonderful.
means there's no more cables. The rest is just stockinette.
Cool. Yes, that's so nice.
Awesome.
Great.
Now we
great
know
matchup
this will
pattern.
get done. I'm so thrilled.
Yeah.
With my cable needle still in there. So here, let me come up and show you. This is Denali by Nora Gone. It's a men's sweater, although I mean, like, if a lady likes it, she can wear it.
Absolutely.
It could work for anybody.
Anybody could wear it.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I love it.
So it's a cable sweater. It's in pieces, so you knit the back and then the front, and then 2 sleeves and seam it. I'm actually going to knit I'm going to start the sleeves, and then on a cord. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then there's a little bit of a saddle, so I couldn't seam these shoulders together because they don't actually seam together. There's a bit of a saddle at the top.
Nice. That's a great look. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, these are all done. This all these cables, I finished it. Ta-da! I also couldn't try it on him and see if it fits, which is sort of annoying. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I don't like about piece sweaters. Yeah. You can't try them on as you go. Mm-hmm. But I've been like comparing them to last year's sweater, so I think we're good. The only thing is length. I think it's going to be longer than last year's sweater, and I took out 2 repeats of the pattern.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
really long.
The original is extremely, even like on the models. It's like, but just just a minute, Malabrigo.
That's Malabrigo. That's the rest of us. So where were we before UPS showed up?
I was telling you about the sweater, how it's pieced and stuff.
Yes.
So also the yarn that I'm using is Tosh Vintage. This is actually yarn we brought in just for the sweater.
Yeah. Well, because we were thinking we needed a new.
Yes, we did need a hand-dyed worsted.
A new hand-dyed worsted.
Yeah, we had some in the past that we didn't have anymore because Miss Crosby, right?
Yes.
Miss Crosby steamer trunk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been a while.
That was a great yarn.
That was a lovely yarn.
But they're not in business anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, we needed a worsted hand-dyed and superwash, and it's very round and smooth. Obviously, cable definition is lovely.
Fabulous.
That's what you get with a round yarn. Those cables just pop.
Yeah.
So perfect for a sweater like this, and it's also it's not as hot sometimes, right? Like as a non-superwash, because
like a smoother yarn. It's just kind of it's round, but it's smooth. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's not prickly, which
not at all. It's lovely.
Precious princess partner who doesn't like any prickle, which I get. That's fine. I don't mind texture in my yarns at all. He would prefer not to have texture, and so that was a perfect opportunity to add some Tosh Vintage to our store stash.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is in the color, I forget.
Saffron.
Ta-da. Yeah, so now I just have to do the sleeves. So the pattern starts at the cuffs and then works
I hate that.
on the sleeves. Right. And they're just in stockinette, so very smooth, sleeves, and then have the saddle.
To really set off all the texture in the body.
Right. I also would prefer not to do that. So I'm going to cast on, knit about, an inch maybe, and then start the shoulder cap decreasing in the saddle, seam it all together, and then pick up and knit down from there.
Yeah.
The tricky thing about that, though, is it has to be a seamless join where from where you cast on.
Because you're going in the opposite direction. Because
it's going to be a smooth stockinette. I had seen, and then one of our knit-nighters, hi Doran, reminded me about Laura Nelkin's tutorial on how to cast on over the tubes.
Purl Strings.
The Purl Strings. Yeah, so you use your Purl Strings, cast on over Purl Strings, and then it's easy to slide your needle in. All those stitches are going in the correct direction. I'll link that tutorial down below, but that's what I'm going to try out. Yeah, right?
I know. I love when people figure things like that out and then document it to share it with the rest of us. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Sharing with the class.
So
cheat
true.
Codes, yay!
So
We need a cheat code sometimes. So that is what I'm gonna. Hopefully I can get. I just need to pay attention. That needs brain space though. Watch the tutorial. I need to do it. So hopefully I can get to that. See, I have my Purl Strings right here, ready to go. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So actually, that was the first thing, my first accomplishment on the trip. I actually knit so much on this trip. My
oh no,
my thumb muscles right here were sore.
Wow.
Like just from
because if you had all the travel time and then time, when you were
I did a lot of knitting. So like I said, then I started the trip with 2 rows on my Rybeck sweater, and
wow,
I ran out of yarn that I had taken with me.
That is so fun.
So this, I think last time I had done like just this top yoke, maybe separated for sleeves. But yeah,
so pretty.
I don't have it here. My little here, I'll grab one. So the bag that I carried around,
oh yeah,
all over Quebec City, was this little guy. That
the
bonbon. Is it the bonbon bag from Atenti. It's a little backpack. So I carried this around all over Quebec City. This was my travel bag. It's not too big, right? So you can put your Keystone wallet. Perfect. And actually there's a perfect iPhone sized pocket in here. But also it fit this sweater like
wow.
Up until I would say the ribbing or so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would fit it now. It's a little bit of a bulky project. But I carried that around as like my, we're just hanging out. I'm going to sit and knit and stockinette for a while. But here, let me put it on. I'll show you what it looks like. Hey, yay! So you'll see why I can't like knit on it right now, because I literally have like maybe 4 more inches to go, then ribbing, and then I'm done. So that would be less than the rest of this podcast. So this is actually the flax worsted by Tin Can Knits. And it's in the color Liew, which is a Rasta Rios. That's Malabrigo. Yes, Malabrigo.
Rios.
Malabrigo. The Malabrigo Rios. Rasta is their bulky yarn, which we just got the order of. So now we're restocking Rasta. But Rios is their superwash worsted. So we actually got 2 superwash worsteds in this year.
We kind of went a little wild. But you know what? As we come into like fall and winter sweater season,
we got options.
We have lots of options.
Yeah. But guys, I mean, like this, I did all this in a week.
Yeah.
Plus the front of that sweater. Plus more. Right? Like it goes so fast. Like
I love that cable on that sleeve.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So what I did was I just took the big cable off of Chad's sweater. And I put it down this sleeve. Right?
In place of the garter section.
I love
in place of the garter section. Yeah. So the original flax has like a panel of garter stitch here with stockinette on either side, and I just put a cable there. Ta-da! I had to do a little bit, like an extremely tiny bit of math, just to make, because there's an even number of stitches on the sleeve, and this is an odd number for the cable, so I just moved a stitch to the front. Ta-da! Yay! And then for the body, I just followed the pattern for flax.
Yeah. I really love that idea. I've often wanted to play with that panel on the sleeve of the flax, and I think that's the perfect way to do it. Yeah. I really do. You know what else you could do? You could do lace.
Oh yeah, you can do like anything.
That would be cool.
You could take some lace from a Helen Stewart sock.
Yeah.
And put it down the side of a flax sleeve.
I love that idea.
The possibilities are endless.
They really are. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good pattern, and it fits well too.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's like your raglans are up here, and then there's actually, you continue in stockinette for a little bit,
so
you don't like get as wide of a
super wide yoke.
Yeah, kind of. As a yoke. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a nice pattern.
I actually measured myself for real on this one.
Mm-hmm.
With my autumn court that you saw, I actually did decreases here and in the waist. On this one I didn't. I also haven't decreased any on the sleeves.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I think this cable is pulling it in so much.
Yeah.
That because cables tend to pull in. That I didn't do any decreases at all on the sleeves so far, and I don't think I'm going to. I'll just
it looks
decrease
great.
at the end if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was like, I really want this sweater to fit. I think the Ribblesdale vest. The other one I did by
Lily Kate
France that had the ribs. That one I also tapered at the waist. I think I probably tapered it a little much. Because I haven't...
The fine line.
Fine line, yeah. You're so good at this.
I don't know. Pattern names stick in my head. Movie plots, no. That's what's important to you, right?
Yeah, like...
Excuse me.
I think I have an idea in my head of what my measurements are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not what my actual measurements are. It has more to do with, like, the pant sizes that I buy. Which isn't the same thing as, like, what your measurements are.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this time I actually measured myself, like, my bust, my high bust, which for me are the same number.
Really?
Yes,
okay,
it's not
good.
go off. Yeah.
Let me cough before we start.
No problem.
There it is. I have half the protein shake in here, and it's just like anything milky. I haven't had anything milk-based in so long. It's just making me phlegmy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know how that is.
I'm good.
Yeah, so I measured my bust, and then I measured my high bust, and they were the same number, which I was super surprised.
That's so hard to believe.
Yeah, because, like, I feel like I look like I have shape.
You do.
But then I was thinking, like, when you measure your bust, it's actually like a straight line, and high bust comes up a little bit.
True. Yeah.
Right? So it's like the hypotenuse of the triangle.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which
it's not a flat line.
Yeah.
It's
like,
an angled line.
If this is one line,
Uh-huh.
right? Like high bust goes up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hypotenuse, and then here's the other side of your right triangle.
And the hypotenuse is always longer.
Is the longest.
Yeah.
So I think whatever that difference is like whatever my boob depth is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so like on fine line, I think I tapered down to a smaller size.
Mm-hmm.
On this one, I was like, well, maybe I'm not gonna taper, because then I also measured my waist, and I was like, I don't think I need to change size between my bust size and my waist size.
Mm-hmm.
Which also I feel like I look like I have shape, but
You do.
anyway.
But also,
whatever.
I mean, knitting stretches, so it's like partly it's like stretched over your full bust, and then less stretched in other places. It's not overly stretched. No. It's just
I tried to make it with zero ease.
But you can see down here the stitches are like closer together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I tried to make it with zero ease, but in any event, and I knew the ribbing was going to pull it in as well.
Yeah.
So
that's part of it.
Anyway, so this was an exercise, and actually not guessing on what your measurements are.
There you go. So good.
Like use a tape measure.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with the fit of this sweater. Which
it looks really
pleasant.
nice. It looks very nice.
Yeah.
And I definitely do love I already wrote down flax with lace on the sleeves.
Yeah. No, I'm happy.
Just because I need to put something else in my queue, right?
And I think it's nice that like our sweaters match.
Yeah, they complement each other.
Yeah, so I took this big cable from here, and that's what's here. This is the same ribbing, like the ribbing pattern.
You
that's
did
on
the
the
twisted
bottom of this
rib.
sweater. It's half twisted. So it's only every other row is twisted.
Yeah.
So that's what's on the bottom here. So yeah, they'll be like together sweaters. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
And
complimentary.
I'm also pleased that this one took a lot less time.
Oh yeah, the not all over cable definitely helps, right?
Oh, yes. This one was so fast. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's the end of my Rybeck whips. I have other whips. Oh no, it's not. I lied. Because I'm so close to the end of this one, I'm already thinking about my next one.
That's right. How could we forget?
Yay.
I haven't seen your colors yet. Let me see.
Oh my goodness, have you not?
No.
This is the bestest.
I've heard about this, but I have not seen
Oh
yet.
my goodness. So.
Oh, I love it.
Love it. Is doing a knit along. She's doing a class.
Yep.
For the Lady Fingers sweater, and I am so excited. It's a colorwork sweater, but it's super simple colorwork. It's 2x2. So if you've never done a colorwork sweater before and wanted to try it, it's 2x2 on some rows and then just stockinette on other rows. So that's lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about the sweater here.
Hi there, Kim here, interrupting your regularly scheduled programming of Chronicles of Yarnia to introduce and kind of talk up my sweater class for the fall, which is the Ladyfinger sweater. It's an excellent first colorwork sweater. The colorwork is a repeating pattern. It's a 3x3 colorwork, which gives you a chance to make sure that your floats are perfectly tensioned across the back of the work and pick out some really gorgeous colors to wear this fall. It looks far more complicated than it is, so if you want to really show off your skills, maybe at Rybeck, this is the class for you. All of the increasing, it's just a yoke sweater, so it means we start right at the top around the collar. All of the increases as the sweater grows happen on rows that are not colorwork, so that's not so scary. And you can do a t-shirt length, or you can lengthen your sleeves all the way down. Some other options for you, if colorwork feels a little scary, you can do colorwork on the yoke, and then the rest of the sweater you can just knit in your favorite of the colors you've selected, all the way to the bottom. And there we have it. I hope you'll join me. The class is Sunday weekends in September, starting after Labor Day. So September 8th and 15th, and then we skip a week so you can catch up on your knitting. We resume September 29th. Then we skip another week to continue catching up in case we need the extra time. And the last class is October 13th, just in time for Rybeck weekend. I hope you'll join me and a lot of the other staff at Yarnia as we make our Ladyfinger sweaters this fall.
So I've chosen a couple of palettes for the Ladyfinger sweater. I really struggled to pick my own colors because there are so many good options in the store. I think what I've landed on for myself is the non-superwash option, all La Bien-Aimée colors. So 4 colors in the Corey worsted. This is Anemone, Amège, Dawn, and Rust. And then I've decided to add a little fuzzy pop for one of mine. And this is Pretty in Pink in Kumo. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to be the palette for my sweater. But I did put together 2 other options just so you can see all the fun things that can be done. This is a superwash option. I pulled a couple of different yarns. So we've got Mad Tosh in the DK, in Cousteau, in Gigi Loves Orange, and in Elizabeth Taylor. But I picked those mostly to go with the La Bien-Aimée Springtime at Yarnia for a special Yarnia edition of the Merino DK. And I kind of chose color specifically to match the pop of color in this skein. And then I also grabbed, because I felt like I needed another dark, this beautiful color wheel dark, like violet color called Raven. So that's another palette option. And last but not least, we have Scout. You could go very earthy and autumnal. You could choose any 5 of these. You could take out that yellow pop if you want something a little more muted. Or you could add it back in if you like the brightness of it. But the truth is, you really can't go wrong. Any and all of these would be so gorgeous together if you decide to go with Scout. So those are some options for you, and I do hope to see you in my class.
Yay! So when I heard Kim was doing that palette, we were here one Saturday together, and she totally enabled.
She's such a good enabler.
So, and the other good thing was I was thinking of using Corey worsted for my Rybeck sweater, but then when I had the flax light idea, this is knit on an 8, and I didn't feel like Corey worsted would work in a sweater so well on an 8. Like it needs to be a little bit denser. Don't match the wrong yarn to the wrong gauge. Be honest with yourself and your yarn. So I picked another yarn, which I'm very happy with. But that meant that I wasn't going to use Corey worsted. But then I was like, oh, it's perfect for Ladyfingers. So I get to use Corey worsted.
Yay!
For Ladyfingers. I love this palette.
Yes,
oh my goodness.
so nice. I also love that you're using the same, more similar yarn for your sweater and Chad's sweater. Like they're both wash worsteds, they're hand ties. I feel like that's part of why those two are going to work so nicely as a pair.
Yeah, but then this is also going to be amazing. And so these are all Corey worsted by La Bien-Aimée. One. This is olive juice. This one is cocoa. I have Avoine and Jana. And then this one is Winsley worsted in buttercream. So those are my 5 colors.
Yay, that's going to be so pretty.
I'm super excited. I
to see
hope
it.
some of you guys are going to join us on our, because there's both the online as well as in-store.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that we've got some podcast viewers that come and knit along with me. I haven't knit along to a class in such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Such a long time. I mean, I think maybe the last one was when we did those. What was the long sweater with the holes in it?
Oh, Campsite Party?
Campsite Cardi.
Oh my
Wow.
I think that was the last time I knit along with a class. It's been a long time.
Wow, yeah, that's been a long time.
So, yay. But this one was perfect.
Yeah.
For me, for Rhyme, it's going to be done in time for Rybeck.
All right.
Yay.
I know, I think I am going to knit along to Seisha's Felix class
Oh.
because, and actually, do you have something else you want to show? Because I'll talk about that when it's over to me for whips.
Well, we can talk about Rybeck sweaters. I have 2 more whips, but we can come back to
All right. So yeah, so why don't we talk about Rybeck sweaters / whips?
Let me change. Rybeck
So
sweaters.
Rybeck sweater / Scotland sweater. So I am, because we get back from Scotland 2 weeks before Rybeck exactly. I'm planning on really making the same. I'm just making things to wear in Scotland that I will then also wear at Rybeck.
Perfect.
Because I don't want to give myself the stress of having to do, having to finish something in 2 weeks. When also I won't have been in the store for 2 weeks,
Right.
and there'll be a lot of stuff to catch up on here. So I am doing the Academic Vest by Skane Deer Knits,
It's so pretty.
and I have gone so far down the Fair Isle rabbit hole. I cannot tell you. I'm watching so many videos. Now I'm really sad that we're actually not going to Shetland on this trip because I've been watching videos of people in Shetland, and one day, maybe next year. Actually, that's one thing. Have we already put in the video of our no, we'll do it at the end. The Yarnia team event.
Yes.
So we had a Yarnia team event recently. About 2/3 of the team could come because it just turned out to be a week that a lot of people were away. Like, they weren't away when we put the date on the calendar, and then it just wound up.
Well, we came back the day before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mid-August. We'll try to do it earlier next year to see if we get everybody.
It's
hard.
It's summer.
But anyway, during that outing, one of the things we were talking about was Shetland Wool Week and all of that, and several people from the store have said that they would love to go next year to that, which would be so fun. It actually is going to be going on when we're there, but we are going to be in Glasgow and Edinburgh, not in Shetland, and I'm sure everything's booked up. It's like they don't have unlimited. It's a small place. They don't have unlimited hotel rooms, all of that. So maybe next year, but for this year. Academic Vest. I'm using Rauma Phenol Garn. I played a lot with palette. I am. Would you mind bringing it up, Amanda?
I work on my nose.
Oh yes. The color selection was a good chunk.
Yeah, the color selection. I showed my swatch last time, 2 weeks ago,
my goodness.
and it's pretty much the same. The thing I have realized though is, in my mind, I was going to do a much more traditional Fair Isle look, which now I know a lot more about how, like, if you're using 6 or 7 colors, you tend to have, like, the background and the foreground shift between patterns, between, like, the rows of patterning. And a lot of times you've got, like, series of 3 colors that really are dark, medium, and light of one value.
Yeah.
And then dark, medium, light of another value, and then you alternate those. This is a much more sort of modern looking Fair Isle. It is definitely all my colors, so I will love it and I will be happy and I will wear it, but it's not kind of what I had in my head. So I'm fine. I'm sure when I'm wearing it, I will be really happy.
Like the main difference is just that the background is one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Haley. Always good at summary.
Condensed.
Condensed down.
That was one thing we were playing with at that Mary Jane Mucklestone.
Yes. At Vogue Knitting that you did.
Which actually, that might be a fun workshop to do. here at Yarnia one Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be more than 1 hour.
Yeah, for sure.
But playing with different palettes like that and those mitts that she designed to specifically play with, doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm using Renovations garn in, it's like a brick color for the entire background. I'm using a forest green for all of my ribbing and as one of my accent colors. And then I've also got like a pumpkin orange, a much brighter kind of chartreusey green. And then the last is a very dark brown.
Yeah.
So I'm using 5 colors total, I believe. And I am happy with it. I really am. I was using Stitch Fiddle. I talked about this last time. I did the pattern in Stitch Fiddle, which is a program Jen recommended that her husband Jonathan has used for needlepoint.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so fun. It definitely... I did a lot of swatching before I did this. I did it just based on the charts and the pattern.
That's your colors.
Those are my colors, exactly.
Nice.
So much. Well, when you've got 5 or 6 colors, it's so much easier to actually be looking at your colors.
I did this with all changed colors, and that was a little mind work.
I think the thing too, because this is over the entire vest, like this I probably could handle working from different colors.
And they're very big blocks.
Exactly, and it's like once you do this, it's the body, and then you repeat it up here, but you're not. Where this, you need like color A is going to always be color A, color B is always going to be color B, and sometimes it's in big chunks, and sometimes it's in small chunks, and so on and so on. So this literally is color palette, chart 2, color palette 5. So I did at least 6 versions of this before I landed on my final one, and in class last week I made the final tweak. To make this pattern, this last big pattern, appear to be more of a big pattern. I don't know, it's really fun. I feel like if I didn't have a deadline for this, I would have played with it even more, but I really was just anxious to get started because I know fingering weight color work is going to take me a good amount of time. And let me see how many inches I have right now. I know I have a measuring tape in here because I've been using it. Let's see what we're up to. We are up to almost 9 inches, and I need to do 11 before I start my steeks. So, and then once I get up to the steeks, it should go more quickly because
you're decreasing.
I'm steeking for the armholes and the V-neck, and I'm actually going to start them all at the same time. In the pattern, you start the armholes first, and then like an inch or so later, you do the V-neck. I would like a deeper V.
Yeah.
So I'm starting them all at the same time.
Makes sense. Are you changing the frequency of the V since you're starting it lower?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
Talk about, we're working on the fly. I'm definitely building the plane as we're moving to our destination.
Well,
but I think, it's, it's also not that, I may wind up, what I'll probably do is just when I get to the point of, having decreased enough, I'll just work straight from there. I may not change it. I may just...
Yeah, that actually looks really good.
Yeah, I like having a wider shoulder in a way.
We did that modification. I think Jen helped me with that on
the Fullerton, right? Yeah. So this is one thing I definitely hope to have done or plan to have done and bring to Scotland. And I have exactly 1 month. We leave a month from today.
Yeah.
So I should be able to do it. But that's why really this is the main thing I have been knitting on. And we're
going to be matchy.
Yeah,
Rybeck
definitely. Yep. So this will be one of my Scotland knits and Rybeck wear on one of the days.
Well, you're always matching with Chad because you both.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely got that rusty orange palette. And Seisha's doing Felix, so I'm gonna knit along with her, I think, and do a Felix, which will be good actually. To have some relief from this, because especially once I do start doing the steeks and everything, it's less fabric, but it's almost more intense. What to be paying attention to right now. All I have to pay attention to is the chart, and then I'll be paying attention to decreases and steeking in the right places and all of that, or working my steeks in the right place.
Yep.
What else do I have? I feel like I do have something else in there in the whips. What is
the sleeves?
The
sleeves.
The sleeves. You want to hand me the sleeves? Thank you. So this has been a little bit on the back burner, but we are not going to abandon it. This is the fairy sleeves that Haley designed for her friend Justine. So we are to the point where sleeve 1 is completely done. And I'm kind of writing the pattern as I test it. So I do need to, when I have a little pause for whatever
they go out
reason.
way further than you think they do.
Yep, it's a big long bell. So when I've got a break from this, I will work on, continue on to the next part, testing what Haley's already written and making any notes I need to make, and then this will be done and ready for testing. So I'm excited about that. And this is in Lane du Nord Cash Silk Light,
which is the hypoallergenic alternative to
people that are allergic to alpaca and mohair for floof.
Yep.
It
no
is
one we know.
cashmere and wool.
Just no one we know.
Just those chickens, right?
Look at all those chickens.
So that is me at the moment. All right, Haley, how about you?
What's your Rybeck whips?
Well, that's my Rybeck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's partially whipped because it's
whip.
Whip into finished object back into whip stage.
I have a few of those in my room.
So I'm working on another strip for my jelly roll. And this one is in my head. It's very lily pad color.
Yes, definitely.
What yarn are you working with?
This is Apple Tree.
Is it?
Which was left from some.
Oh yeah, you made that top, right?
That I wore to the Boy Genius show. Well, it was the Reset Festival, which was just a long show. It wasn't really a festival. It was just 4 artists on one stage.
In Forest Hills.
Yeah.
That was the Forest Hills.
That was a long day.
That
was the first time I saw Boy Genius. Yeah, last July.
Mm-hmm.
June. Justin Bieber was there.
Wow.
I remember that. Well, because apparently he's friends with Dijon, who was the second artist. So he was, yeah. Oh, everyone, the entire pit, reoriented from the stage and looked at him while he was in vision. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But that was the first time I saw Boy Genius. Crazy.
They're so good.
Wow.
How many times? Wow.
I had some Brandy Carlisle years that were pretty close to that.
Yeah, Emma loves Brandy Carlisle.
Well, back in 2011, she wasn't as well known, so that's when I was not a groupie, I would say, but anytime she was in the New Jersey, New York area, saw her in Southampton, and she opened for Sheryl Crow at Radio City. When Sheryl Crow played Radio City, Brandy Carlisle opened for her, so I went to that concert.
That's incredible.
Just for
right?
Carlisle.
It's so funny. It's
my sister Irene really is a fan of hers too. She's seen her a bunch of times.
Yeah, the first time she headlined at Radio City, I was there on the 7th row.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't at that packed, and then we saw her in Madison Square Garden, and it was packed.
Yeah.
I said Southampton, Morristown. She played at Impact, the
Impact,
Morristown.
yeah.
Yeah, she played at Morristown. That was an acoustic concert.
Oh my
Town Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime she was here. And then up in New Hampshire at that little boardwalk
Oh my
place.
god.
Because she happened to be there when we were in the area. So
That is
Nice.
so cool.
yeah, that was, but then I haven't seen her in years. Now you can't get within 100 rows, and it's
Oh
more
my
big
gosh.
production.
The way
But-
tickets are.
Tickets are so crazy right now for everything.
Have I ever showed you? I have pictures with her. A picture with her. I have a picture with the twins.
Oh my
god! I'll put it in here. Yeah,
yes.
because after the Southampton show, I had been in the Hamptons for the weekend, and she was playing Sunday night at Southampton, and so I was like, I'll stick around. Usually, I would leave at 1 o'clock on Sunday and be back here by 6. But that night she was playing, so I was like, I'll just hang out in Southampton, go to the show, and then drive home late at night. So did that. Who was opening for her that night? Good Old War, which if you like acoustic men's trios, amazing, and they have good poetry in their songs. I like Good Old War.
Yeah,
that night I got their album. I got both of their first 2 albums and listened to them all the way home. They're so good. But yeah, afterwards, like, there were 4 of us that just waited around backstage. 4 of us waited on the sidewalk for about 30 minutes, hung out.
Nice.
And she came out and talked to all of us, took pictures with all of us.
So
It was
fun.
so fun.
Very awesome.
So, yeah, follow small artists.
I
Those
know,
are, like,
literally,
the most fun.
that's what I've been talking about with all my friends that I go see shows with. It's like, I have this chronic problem of only, like, being fans of, like, quite literally the biggest artists.
Yeah.
And also, like,
Well,
not...
like the exploding artists. So like,
Well, I mean, the problem is, like, I mean, even before the Ticketmaster thing, like, all of Taylor's shows are, like, you know, it's not like, I mean, for Rep Tour, people were still able to get tickets, like, closer to the day of, but it's still, like, a bigger purchase than, like, it's, you know, like,
I might go see a show
a
tonight.
MetLife show is way different from any kind of, like, intimate show.
Oh, yeah.
Not any detraction from Taylor shows. Because, you know.
Well, they're productions.
They're
too.
their own whole universe. Honestly.
Spectacle in the most fond use of the term.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out. I would say my recommendation would be to check out who the opening acts are. Right, like,
and then,
for the singers you like, for the big singers you
Yeah.
like, go to their, like, who's on their tour page, who's opening for them, right? Because they choose artists that they think their audience would like.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Maisie Peters opened for Taylor last night, and I love at Wembley. And I love Maisie. I did cry watching the live stream, but she said, I'm here for all you girls on the live stream. She shouted us out.
Oh, cute.
That's so nice.
So yeah, I did cry that I wasn't able to be there, but my friend, who was the connecting link to get me into MetLife
For Taylor.
It was at Wembley and is at Wembley today.
Oh,
Nice.
So someone saw me.
He's having a good summer.
Yeah, his outfits were good. He was wearing a Tortured Poets, like, crew member.
Oh,
cool. And then today he is the Black Dog.
Actually, the Black Dog is near our hotel.
Oh, we have to go. We're going. Well, yeah, because Maisie's British, so she has a couple songs. In my opinion, her best song starts, "I'm back in London," and so I'm like, we have to do a "There It Goes" tour in all the spots that she mentions in the.
That's a fun day. Like, that's a fun way to go around the town.
Make sure
we always usually have a sub theme to whatever we're doing.
That's super fun.
Yeah, we've picked our tea spot.
Yes, our tea.
Yep. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
So.
diversion.
Yeah, we digress. That
was the intro to my whip for
yeah,
this.
so you can show the rest of your whip.
I'm up to, if I'm not mistaken, 10 jelly rolls.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of jelly rolls.
2, 4, 6, 8. I think this may be, I don't know. Here's the bag. Ta-da!
That's
They're all
pretty
in
full.
there.
Yeah,
How many do you need?
I don't know yet. I haven't laid them out and measured, but in my head it's gonna be about 20. I'm gonna see.
Are you gonna do a square?
It's gonna probably be like a queen size. So.
I was just about to do quick math.
Yeah.
If you have your tape measure.
Of how.
Yeah.
I do indeed.
Oh, you have one too?
Yes.
Okay.
Tape measure stays in here, and my little leaf that has all my Benadryl in here.
Those are the OG.
Yeah.
Little
Practice fibers, felted pouches.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I didn't realize
I
that was
carry
full of Benadryl.
It's full of Benadryl, and it had a couple Tums that are now crushed.
They absorb faster that way.
Calcium carbonate flavored Benadryl.
And some rocks. These might be Michigan rocks. They weren't in the Benadryl, they're just in the project.
Right.
Okay, good.
I'm measuring. It is 3.5.
3.5.
So 36?
So if you do 22, then that's an 8 by 10 or an 80 by 10, 100 inch blanket, right?
We'll check in at 20, lay them all out, measure it, and then see what to do.
And I have promised to go through my fingering tubs and see what,
because and
I feel like I can part with, like things that I'm not
running
gonna
out. But the thing is, and so a good chunk of all of the ones in here that are glittery are Dragon Hoard and Yarn Cafe, Disney Princess Advent from last year, two years ago. And so that was part of the inspiration for starting the project, because I was like, I want to do a project that'll show them off, but like, I don't know, I had a lot of sock scraps at that point, and so this is all my fingering leftovers.
I think
not necessarily.
If you want more.
Nice.
Because it's kind of like a scrapbook type of project where you're like, okay, I remember.
I don't know if you want my scrapbook and yours.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
It'll add more variety,
this is
which
what I
will be
have
fun.
left.
It feels like.
So I am accepting donations because
I am accepting
because this is not going to make 10 more jelly rolls.
No.
But also I want to spread these out because these are a Sorella Advent.
Yeah.
And I want to have them across different things because they're like semi-solids.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So.
Oh, and did you say she saw Taylor last night?
No, she's going tonight.
Haley keeps up on all the Taylor news.
There's it was on her story because there's a while Taylor is at Wembley, the V&A has a Taylor like trail walkthrough.
Oh,
so
cool.
she posted all the pictures from the exhibit.
But is it only? I mean, is it still going to be there in a month?
No.
Do you think?
No,
It's totally temporary.
I already told you about it.
You did.
I just said, oh, they're doing a thing and it's not going to be there when
all
I'm
right.
there.
Okay. And that's why I didn't remember it. They're doing a thing.
Because it's not going to be there when we're there.
Okay.
So we don't log it, we don't file it because it's not going to be there.
That's true. Not relevant to my life.
So that's my wig that I brought, and also more charms. I'm making gold charms for my gold. I think it's going to be like a tank top. I have some inspiration screenshots.
Cool.
That I won't post. You'll see them when I decide what. But I'm just, it's
so you're you're into the charms now beyond just charms for the butterfly top.
I'm going to make charms for the gold top as well.
What gold top?
For
Oh,
my birthday.
right.
The golden.
The golden birthday top.
It sounds very fun. I like that. All right, so I think.
I have more whips.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, I'm glad we did the Rybeck.
Yes. Let's see. In a very quick look what I did this week. I did another square.
Yeah.
I hooked on grannies, so
Yes.
it sort of flows from your very long blanket project. This is my very long blanket project, but I didn't have yarn to do like anything. So I finished a square. So I had gotten halfway through this like light beige on Saturday, and we were going to the park and blah blah blah. So I popped this in my bonbon bag with 3 colors of yarn and crocheted at the park while I watched the kids on the playground.
You know you're done with your current whips when you break out an old whip. For
I
sure.
know, no, it's great. And then I looked, and this is square number 19. I've already started 20, and there's only 25.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
yeah, this will get done. The squares will get done this year. I don't know about putting it together because maybe that can be a finish it February finish-ish.
Yeah.
And then my other project that I was working on when in Canada was Evie's sweater.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So-
more pom-poms.
This was the original pump. This is what I saw that was like, all right, I need to make a pop-up
Yeah.
sample for the store.
This is what
It's so
when
cute.
we saw this
Oh my
at
gosh.
H&H, I was like,
Yeah.
I must make a sweater for Evie for this year.
Yeah. It's so
So
cute.
this is Evie's sweater. I am using the Charlie's Day Set by Along Beck Anna as the pattern. Charlie's Day Set has some stripes. I finished the whole cardigan. I was on the way home, and look how much more I need.
Oh, wow.
So I'll bring this.
Oh, yeah,
up to
you got
show
one
them.
more.
But the good news is this is a 9 to 12 month size, and I still had enough of the
Oh,
pom-pom
yeah.
yarn left over from one
Yeah.
skein.
That's great.
So it actually goes quite a long way.
yeah,
But look,
I forget how many yards it is, but it is a lot.
yeah, that's how much more of the white yarn I needed.
Yeah.
So I just got it. I just got another skein today, so I'll finish this up tonight. I have already. So the pom-pom yarn is on the whole body and sleeves. The ribbing is pom-pom free. And I went ahead and did all the buttonholes, button bands, buttonholes. I did that already. So I just literally have to finish up this sleeve and then I'm done.
That's great.
So I'll finish that up tonight. And yeah, KK already saw it. I'll put a picture in of Evie because she tried it on.
Yay!
Oh, good.
And loved it, especially the dangling cords at the end.
I'm
That's
sure,
just
right?
yank them out.
Yeah.
The pom-pom skeins are 285 per ball.
Yeah.
Meters or
Yeah.
yards?
Yards.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it'll
It's a good old-
definitely, and I love the way, I think not doing it on the ribbing makes sense anyway, but it also helps conserve it a bit.
Yes,
for,
yeah.
If you want to just get one for your project.
It looks so cute.
It's adorable. It's so perfect.
I'm so happy with it. It's going to be perfect for a winter and springy
Yeah,
little cardigan for Evie.
love that. And I love that she can wear it with so many different colors and things too. Like it'll work with so many things.
Yeah. And she's a very pink baby, so it'll go with her whole wardrobe. Yay, so that is in progress. Oh my goodness, I did visit a yarn store because I couldn't find, this is knit on a size 6, I could not find my DPNs size 6.
Oh no.
So I visited a yarn store in Quebec City. They had quite a bit of local dyers, which was nice, and actually like local wool that had been spun. But very few needles. Very few needles.
Interesting. Wow.
And they didn't believe in DPNs. So,
Really?
That's curious.
That's so unusual.
So they only had DPNs for sock knitting in like size 0, 1, 2, 3. And that's it.
Wow.
Curious.
And I was like,
They're from the future.
sad face.
Like they're not in the past, they're from the future.
Exactly. But was it a fairly new store or?
No, I don't think so.
That's so. I mean, because DPNs, like historically, they were what people used.
Yeah.
Even,
So
prior to straights and things.
I got some size 6. I didn't have my Chiagu size 6 tips with me. I obviously have some interchangeable Chiagu size 6 tips, but I was like, size 6 is a good size to have for me anyway. That's a common size. And they were also out of sight of 40-inch cables.
Oh, wow.
I'm like,
Foiled as it turns.
So I got a 32-inch cable, which for a kitty sleeve is fine.
Yeah, it's not that big a tube.
That's what I did. So I did those sleeves on Magic Loop.
Yay.
And the very last whip I have is we have 1 week left for sock bingo.
That's right. We are so close.
If you are finishing up your sock bingo, be sure to fill out the form that's linked on the original PDF for your bingo sheet. I noticed people are still downloading it.
Yeah. Which I think, I don't know, certainly once the time is over, we'll change it to say, void or sample or something.
I'll probably pull it off the website in September, but that way you'll forget what the squares were by the time we do it the next time.
That's right.
But yeah, the PDF obviously will close probably. We'll give folks a little bit of time after Labor Day, but Labor Day, September 2nd this year, so very early.
Very early.
Is the last day to report your socks, or to finish your socks for Sock Bingo.
Yeah.
And so then the link for the Google sheet will be open, let's say a week after that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. How about by the following Sunday? So let's see what that date is.
Yeah, because Kathleen can't be shipping out forever and ever. Especially
if
on
you're not here.
So we need to cut off
the 8th at midnight on the 8th U.S. time.
Okay, cool.
Eastern time.
So we'll announce that all over the socials. But you've got 2 more weeks, or you've got 1 more week as of this podcast, which is enough time to finish a pair of socks, but probably not enough to finish a bingo unless you're Haley circa 2021.
Exactly. Sock fixation.
But this week, because I'm commute on the train, I started my second sock for my Helen Stewart Vapor socks out of the Yarnia Follett Yarnia sock set. So that's my last whip. That's my commuter whip right now. I brought the first socks, so you just see a little reminder of what the Helen Stewart Faber sock looks like. But yeah, I finished 2.5 repeats so far on the leg for my whip. So yeah, I'll probably finish the leg next week and get on the heel. But yeah, I couldn't bring myself to start it up with another one of Chad's socks yet. I need a detox.
Yeah,
still.
definitely. And it's funny because I had all intentions of really doing a sock bingo this year, but it took me so long to decide what I'm doing with this vest, and just, you know, I have deadlines, the kitchen, it's so funny. I remember when Jen was talking about the chaos caused by the kitchen renovation, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure it's chaotic. It is so chaotic. It's like nothing is where it belongs. It takes twice as long to do anything in your home. So it's just like that's going on in the background all the time. And then I got sick on top of it. So, I've made a sock. That is where I'm staying.
We didn't have our kitchens done, but I guess in 2016, that summer, we had new built-ins put in the den, and then the ceilings redone, and the rest of the downstairs. Because they were old plaster ceilings that were coming unadhered
from the yeah. That's very stressful.
I had just quit my corporate job in the spring, and so I just packed up the kids and we went to Mexico for 2 weeks to visit my sister. Because I think Abby and Eric were like 3 and 1 or 4 and 2. And so I was like, nope, we're not staying here. We're going to Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, this is going on. They estimated 3 weeks. Our bathrooms, which the same crew did, took a little bit longer than they estimated, but it was because when they started the demo, there was way more going on there than anyone would have expected.
Surprises in the walls.
Yeah, but so far so good. Where are we on the kitchen? And hopefully it will be done within the next 2 weeks, and then things will be a little bit more back to normal. But I had planned to do another summer top. That was abandoned. Right now focusing on this one more sweater, and that's good. And getting all of our trip plans squared away too, like doing all those bookings and stuff. That it does take some time, you know. Yeah. So.
Definitely. But I think I won the whip.
Oh, definitely you won the whip prize today.
The whip prize today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been knitting like crazy since we podcast last, which I won't have that much progress before next time. That really was a whole like 12-day, 10-day trip of me sitting in the passenger seat and knitting constantly and walking somewhere and knitting while we had a coffee and walking somewhere else and knitting while we had a cider.
Yeah.
It was so fun. It was the best knitting trip.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Yay.
Love that. All right. So,
I was just going to say, I have touched a sock this summer, but it didn't have a needle in the bag, in the project bag. I had stolen the needle, so I was like, I brought the sock project bag to here when I had a shift, and I was like, I may work on my sock today. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have.
You could have gotten another needle here.
Exactly, but I didn't end up working on anything that day. But I also had aspirations to make a sock. Like, I didn't think I would get 5 done.
Yeah.
But at least, like, finish one. I have a bunch of tubes
that
are gifts that are due. That I could do. That I should do.
Maybe after Rybeck, or once you get your Rybeck stuff squared away. We'll see. Yeah, we also have to figure out trip knitting.
I know. I don't know what I'm going to bring. Should that be our question? What do you bring?
Yes. Well, we did something like that recently.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, we are trying to do carry-ons only. Carry-ons of personal items for a 16-day trip. That's tough. I'm not going to have a whole lot of extra room, but I'm actually thinking about bringing some yarn for a couple of Sophie scarves. So I was
about to say,
it's a fair amount of knitting, but it's not bulky.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking.
I think there's a lot of good shawl patterns that are 1 or 2 colors and have, are pretty, not entirely mindless, but reasonably mindless.
Travel knitting.
Yes. Not boring.
And it is funny, like when we went to London 5 years ago, I remember what I worked on during that trip. Remember that was the one where
I do remember
I gave it to Irene. It was one of Chanel's patterns. It was, I forget what, it was something with a P. It was like a boomerang shape.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean.
We can
really
look it up.
We'll
Put it here. But it's funny, one of the reasons I remember that is that I was knitting on it, and our flight that night, it was one of those nights with a ton of thunderstorms. Our flight was delayed like 4 times or something. Thank goodness it did eventually take off. But there was a woman across the waiting area who like was looking at us while we were knitting and everything, and I'm like, said, she looks so familiar. I said, I wonder if she's a customer at Yarnia. And you know the way, like, when you're waiting for a long time, people just get a lot more friendly, and, like, we're all in this together and all of that. So one time when I got up to go to the bathroom or get a water or whatever, I stopped her and I said, do I know you from somewhere? Are you a customer at Yarnia? And when she answered me, I realized what I knew her from. She was on the Great British Baking Show. She was one of the contestants. Yes. I think her name was Val, right? Yeah. Val. She was so sweet. She was
our favorite. Literally.
Yeah, we loved her from that season. And it was like the season had just finished or something. Yeah, she must have been here for something and was heading back home. So
that was a great show. Okay, I'm not going to think about that right now because I've got plenty of...
Plenty of things to keep you occupied, right?
Yeah, I wound yarn. I bought another skein. We have another sweater. I got to do sleeves. I'm not thinking about... Nope.
No baking. Not yet. Not yet.
It's not the season.
So we are back to tell you a little bit about some things that are new in store. One of them is completely new. One of them is like a returning, but was not available for a long time and now is available again. So the latter is Noro Madara. Yay. Which this color is color 01 Sake, and this yarn has been so in demand. We've been having people from all over ask us about it.
Yep.
It is, let me tell you what the fiber content is. It is 50% wool, 30% silk.
60%.
60% wool, tiny type. And 10% alpaca. And I think this was the first Nora yarn using alpaca, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, so it's nice and soft, but still like has that like woolly wool feel.
Yeah.
Like Kathleen said, this is the sake color. The other colors of Madara are solid colors, right?
They're all tweedy. Like, they're all a bit tweedy. So we have 8 other colors that we have good stock on besides sake, but this is the one everyone's been asking about.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons that we get asked about it is that we've got this great sample. And I have already
That's what it looks like.
Her name. It's right on the it's on the tag right there. I just let me write it down.
The Sia pullover.
Right, SIA. That pattern is available on Ravelry for $6. And I think it is such a great pattern to highlight the beauty of this yarn. Yeah. It's just, it's like a broken rib, kind of broken seed stitch sort of look. And, you know, it's just it's like a slight mock neck, raglan. Oh no, it's drop sleeve.
It's drop sleeve, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you watch Tiffany Liew, I don't know if you watch her on YouTube. She's a knitting podcaster, makes a lot of her own designs now over the past few years. And she does a lot of live streams. So like while she's knitting, she'll live stream, but then also has like once a month, just talks about similar to the way we do, you know, what she's working on, what she's finished. She has an amazing sweater she did with Madara in this color sake. That looks spectacular. So you should definitely go. I'll link her Instagram down below as well.
Cool.
Tiffany so much. I watch her on the train while I'm knitting my socks. So
knitting, cool.
Yeah, she actually she's a younger knitter.
I think I've seen her on Instagram.
Yeah, and when I first started watching, the way she talks a little bit reminds me of like listening to Catherine talk. So so it's like it's fun. Yay!
Nice. All right, and
she's from Vancouver, by the way.
Okay, cool. Another new thing we got is from Rico, which we showed you the Make It tweed.
Yes.
In a recent episode.
Yeah.
This was one of the things we got at H&H, the trade show we went to in Chicago, and these are called Stick and Stitch kits.
Yes.
So we've got 6 different designs.
And I got similar things. These are super popular in Europe. When I went to Knit Eat, there were probably 4 or 5 vendors that had these. They're like little adhesive sheets that have templates for embroidery. You can stick them on your fabric, embroider over them, so it gives you a template, and it like washes
they're
away.
water soluble. Yeah. So the kind of it's almost like interfacing if you like fusible interfacing. It's that feel. But they're very lightweight, and the design is printed on it. So the kits include all the embroidery floss to make the designs, as well as at least 16 stick items per package. Some of them have even more than that if they're smaller designs.
Yeah,
but they're so fun. We've got hearts, we've got stars, we've got little fir branches.
There we go.
The Christmas roses is just beautiful.
Yeah, that's this one.
So involved. And these range, most of them are 15. The Merry Christmas, which is a little bit simpler, is 13. And
that's
the
this one.
Christmas roses, which is the most involved, is 20. So I think they're so pretty. I could see doing
the
them.
Merry Christmas has like gold yarn in it. Our embroidery floss, and then the little...
Yep.
This would be so... If you're doing a fast Christmas sweater or holiday sweater, these, you could do the flax and then embroider little, evergreens around the neckline.
Oh, that would be so cute. Yeah.
Flax you can use for anything.
And I think these would be so cute. Like if you wanted to make like a hostess gift, you could do something on an apron or something, or some tea towels.
Yeah,
these would be adorable on tea towels or napkins or anything like that. Yeah, and there definitely are enough in there. Like if you flip over, let's see the hearts. See, it shows you this has got like easily.
This one's got 35.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you can make a lot of hearts.
the ones that have like smaller designs have more, and the ones that have bigger designs have fewer. But they're all well more than a dozen of anything.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I think it's really fun. If you've been doing a little embroidery. It's just another way to get to play with that. That's not just like something to hang on your wall.
Yeah.
Which I love.
If you're making your own folklore cardigan with stars.
That's so true. Yes. I didn't even think about that.
I saw someone, I'll put it, we'll write it down. Someone knit a folklore cardigan dress.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Making a note.
I have her. I think I...
Well, if you don't send it, when I get to that part in editing, I'll be sending out
You will.
WhatsApp messages.
All right. So that's what's new in store now. And we will ask a question, and you'll be able to pick either one skein of this or any one of those that we have in stock at the time that you answer.
Yay.
But we should first talk about our winner from the last episode. So our last question was, what colors should we add to our LBA fingering selection?
We made y'all do our work.
Yep, and we did. Well, it was so interesting because, we always have a little bit of a tight time frame. We ask the question, and then it's not until at least 4 days later that you see it. And then we were working on our order. We actually, yesterday was the deadline for submitting our order, so we had to have it done before that. Some people commented really late, but it was interesting. Some of the last people to comment actually commented things we did order.
Oh, perfect.
Reading.
So I think our vibes are aligned, right?
Yeah, it was interesting to see what colors people put together.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yep. And we did actually, one of the things we're going to do when we get this next order in is, we are going to feature sets of things that we have put together that we feel like work. Some of them are ones that are already on Amy's site. Some of them we actually already have.
Yeah.
But we filled in some things to make fuller sets. We also realized that we didn't have as many greens as we wanted. Though it's interesting, she doesn't offer a lot of greens. I think one of the reasons we didn't was that there weren't that many to choose from. But we definitely have added a couple, and we found things that we had that had some green in them that, we may not have been featuring as much. So, thank you for your help on that, everybody. We really do appreciate it. And I think everyone's going to be happy, especially, when something like Stephen West's next mystery knit along comes along.
That's coming soon.
We will have some things ready for you, and depending on what he says. So depending on, who knows what he is going to be looking for this time. But whatever it is, we will be ready.
Yeah.
And we'll get some of those posted within our Cashmerino and Super Sock. So our winner who answered the question and was randomly drawn from folks who did answer the question of what should we add, is What's Millie Making? Yay! Hey, Millie, who is local to New Jersey, shops with us, and we love following her on Instagram. If you don't follow her, follow her. She does such interesting knitting content and is a very prolific knitter. And she said, every time I'm in the store, I can't help but admire the wall of LBA. If I had to pick new colors, I would say butter yellow, as it can be a nice contrast to deeper colors without being a plain white. And she loves the softly variegated colors like Amy's shawl.
Yeah, I like Amy's shawl. That was really pretty. Yeah, we
have that in at least one base. I forget which one
it's in the DK for sure, right?
That's probably what it is. Yeah. So yeah, that is another thing we actually try to do, is to not duplicate colors across too many bases, because when you do that, it really it opens the possibilities to people bringing things up the wrong way, which is such a shame.
Well, and plus, if you want something in a DK but you have it in fingering, you just hold, like, for example, two cashmerino together.
Yeah, exactly. So then you've got that color.
We do have floral marguerite in every base that we have.
Yeah, and Hagalia is another one we have in most bases.
I feel like you sort of have to.
Yeah. Bois de Rose is another one. I mean, there definitely are a few that we have in a lot. But we are up to something like 11 bases now, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we can talk about this. I think it's pretty much out there that the silk mohair is going away. They're not stocking that anymore. But there is a new base that we're going to be among the first people to have in September. And it's called Soya. And it is it's basically their new version of the mohair silk, but with a higher silk content.
Reformulated. Yeah. So that's coming.
Exciting.
Yeah. So I think we picked like 18 colors of that.
That'll be good.
So lots to look forward to, always. So our question for this time. So anyway, Millie, let us know what you would like. Any single skein of LBA. That was our prize. Woohoo! And we know.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. So either pop in the store or message us or order on. Don't order online, because then you'll pay for it. We don't want you to do that. Somebody actually did do that once. I was going back and forth with her, and but let us know which one you like, and we'll put it aside for you, and either ship it to you or hold it for the next time you're here, whatever your preference is.
Yeah. This week, we're getting at the very end of August. It's the 24th. You got one more. I mean, if you count Labor Day as sort of like the end of official summer.
The unofficial end of summer. Yeah.
Right? Like then summer is winding down to a close. So curious what's on your summer bucket list that you haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah. What are the last couple of summer things you want to squeeze in while it's still summery? And we know in some parts of the country it's summery for longer than others, but for a lot of folks, especially, whether you have kids or not, once everyone's in that back to school mode and everything, it does change the tenor of the days and the weeks. So what's on your summer checklist that you still want to make sure you fit in?
We're making s'mores tonight in the fire pit in the backyard.
Nice.
So that's nice. We haven't done it. That's what we're doing.
Haley is the queen of indoor s'mores.
Well, when we don't have, because we don't have a fire pit, a functional one. So
ours is a little rusty, but
I'm feeling a s'more, just open flame.
Yeah.
Well, I told Abby she's not allowed to do that, so just don't tell us.
Well, not unsupervised anyway. Yeah, we started that one vacation. It was actually, we were up in the Adirondacks, and it was actually, we were in the middle of a name change, and my company wanted me to cancel my vacation.
Oh my goodness!
I absolutely cannot cancel my vacation.
The rest of my want me to lose it.
The rest of my family deserves a vacation, even if I need to be working. So
right. I've done those.
Yeah, and the compromise was I only worked 5 hours a day. But it also turned out to be really rainy. I don't know if you remember that. It was really rainy that time. And that was the origin of the indoor s'mores. Because, that was one thing Haley really, really wanted to do. She loves s'mores on vacation. And so we started doing it. And when I suggested that, you were pretty little at the time. Your whole face lit up. You're like, oh my God, we could do them inside.
So cute.
So, indoor s'mores.
I'm looking forward to it. I think I got 5 different kinds of good chocolate.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So we're gonna have some
gourmet
sampler
pie.
Very fun. Very fun. Yeah. So what? So are indoor s'mores on your list or outdoor s'mores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you'll get your choice of a skein of Madara or a stick and stitch.
Yeah.
So, all right. And I'm sure Amanda squeezed Jen in here somewhere.
Yes.
We forgot to hand over to her, but
wherever she fit between whips and finished objects
exactly.
or whatever.
You get to see some of her nice life on the lake.
Yep.
Yeah, and Haley is again watching her cats and stuff while she's away, which is really fun. Yep. Yeah.
And yeah, so be sure to like and subscribe down below. That really helps our channel. We appreciate it.
It does.
And it makes sure that every time we have new content, we were just talking about adding a few more shorts
yes.
to our playlist, so that you guys can see a little behind the scenes in the store, know what's coming up, especially when it comes to like new classes and things like that, because sometimes those sell out really fast.
Yeah.
So be sure to subscribe so you know as soon as those things come up.
You'll be in the know. You'll have that inside scoop.
Insiders.
Yep. And online, you can always find us at shopyarnia.com. You can subscribe to the newsletter, which Jen puts out every Monday morning.
Yeah.
And to subscribe to the newsletter, just scroll to the bottom of any page, and there's a subscribe to the newsletter field. And then you're in. And other than shopyarnia.com, you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook at shopyarnia. And what else am I missing? Anything else? This isn't normally my job.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Those are the active.
We used to be on Snapchat. I've done that in about 4 years.
We do have a TikTok, which we should get back to publishing things on. Yeah.
We have other dormant socials.
Yeah. But you can always find us on Instagram and Facebook. We are good with that for sure.
Yes. All right. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for watching.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.